What is good, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy King. We are back again today, guys. We're checking out Abba versus Preach. What is happening? Infighting in the house of Peach? What? Craziness. You might as well call this House of the Dragon because the amount of infighting happening here is crazy. Finale just came out. It was crazy. But anyway, let me know if you actually watch it. Give this video a thumbs up if you watch House of the Dragon. But let's jump right in. So I'm not fat, I'm slim thick. Nah, you're sick. Ooh! Yo, boss. He ain't rapper though. We have a heated debate on body positivity. In my mind, just to let you guys know my stance on body positivity, 100% people should be happy within the body they are. But I think the body positivity movement should be more angling to say that you should be happy, you shouldn't be judged, but at the same time, you should want your best self to shine. And that is you being healthy, you taking care of your body. Your body is a machine, and if you're not taking care of it, it will break down. So from my angle, judge no one. Everyone can make their own choices. It is what it is. Focus on you. Who cares what other people do anyway? And make sure you have longevity in your life so you can, play longer with your kids, engage more in sports, do more activities you like, and basically engage in even the workplace and not feel tired, come back home feeling like you're wrecked. But yeah, exercise is very, very important. Humans were not made to be sedentary creatures, just staying there, not doing anything. Trust me, I know. I studied the evolutionary biology. Sitting there is not for us. Hence why the rise of depression, especially in countries like the West, because everything is so readily available, there is no struggle. So the things you think, it's harder to reach that same level of happiness if your basal line is very satisfied. Whereas people in Eastern countries and Africa and whatnot, those people who live there, they are having more fruitful experiences because when they get that burger, it means 10 times more than having a burger here. You can have McDonald's anytime you want. It's super cheap. But in places like Africa, it means so much more. And I'll leave it at that. I'll jump in the video right now. Let's go.
I don't know about you. How many people you see make it to 70, 80, 90 who are obese? I can't think of one. As you get older, all that talk is not cute no more. You cutting off ankles. You cutting off limbs.
Everything hurts.
This is a sickness.
It's not a sickness.
It is a sickness.
No.
Literally.
No, it's not. I just want to show Abba something, and I want to show you guys something, because it's something I was on social media. I was scrolling on my social media, and I encountered something, and it made me chuckle. And I want to show Abba, because I want to see if he's going to chuckle as me, or if it's just me that just think things are funny, okay? So, all right. So, there was this fashion show of, body positivity, you know what I mean? Swim thick, boom, right? Boom.
Boom.
Right.
Preaches it right.
Boom.
Right.
Boom.
Right.
Boom. Show me when you see something funny, right? Boom. All right. Boom. All right. Boom.
Why would you do this? Why would you do this? This is inherently trying to send a message that if you are of the thicker persuasion, you are desired by gentlemen such as this who are in peak physical condition. Complete and utter opposites. And it does not make sense. There's obviously some guys who are in peak physical condition who like thicker chicks. But on average, if a guy is in the gym taking care of his body, he would generally want someone on the same level who is fit and taking care of themselves, just keeping themselves, keeping themselves on point. Not too crazy, but keeping themselves, nicely, put together. We'll leave it at that. But anyway, we proceed.
Did you see it?
I just,
Body positivity, bro. Body positivity. You give me this?
Me.
Who's man is this? And look what, is there swim thick on his trunk? Thick where? His dick? There's no the moral of the story. There's no, I think, I'm just gonna put it out there. This is it. I don't expect you to say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Usual, that's fine. I just want to put it out there. That shit was funny.
Some of these women weren't slim thick. Some of them were just fat. Like, I know you were thinking about the black dude. I really don't care about that part. It's just like, I see these kinds of events and I find them cringe.
Why is it cringe?
I find it cringe. It's one thing if the ladies are thick or, you know, thicker than you average. That's fine. Some of them are just straight up fat. Like,
So what?
so what? This whole thing about, like, celebrating this stuff, like, no. These people are, like, killing themselves at risk for a whole bunch of other shit. I was like, no, don't celebrate. The same way.
You know why I think this is pressing preach? Because I remember when they had the beef with Fresh and Fraud. Fresh and Fraud. When they had the whole debate with Fresh and Fit, FNF, they said that his partner was a bit on the side. So, we
We
proceed.
shouldn't be celebrating someone who's bone thick because they're taking a bunch of drugs. Like, it's stupid. It's dumb. Let's be honest. It's dumb. It's dumb, and we're just doing this whole like complacency thing where it's like,
Yeah. Oh no. Actually, let me close the door on this real quick. It's about to get spicy in here. Hopefully, improve the audio. Ugh. All right, there we go. Proceed.
Don't go out of your way to make fun of people when they're that way. Sure. You want to say don't shame people? Sure.
Sure.
But this whole like propping this up, I find it so cringe.
You think it's cringe?
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's one of the most
Slightly.
cringiest things.
Slightly.
It's like no, just this is a.
But I don't care too much about it, so people can do what they want. If you want to go watch that, go watch it. It is what it is. Businesses want to make money, and they want to make money on all people. It doesn't matter the size, doesn't matter the race. So they're gonna do what is necessary to profit. Imagine there's a whole demographic of people before who were untouched because they didn't make fashion for them, they didn't make clothes for them. Now businesses are evolving and making clothes and promoting body positivity in such a way that it allows these people to come out into the world and enjoy being out in the world, thus spending more money when they are out in the world. So it's a profitable thing to do.
Sickness.
I understand why they do it.
It is a sickness.
No.
Literally, obesity is a sickness.
It is a sickness. The world is suffering. The West is
Go
suffering.
ahead. Say the shit you want to say.
Say your piece.
There's nothing.
Defend your wife.
What? You don't think it's a sickness?
I had to say. I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
No, it's not.
Okay. What is it then?
It's just a thing.
You think obesity is just a thing?
It's
Yeah, I'm like, you
humans are not meant to be there,
No, because
man.
I'm
They're
trying
not meant to be there,
serious,
bro.
You want to say
No,
something?
it's just that the thing is, I understand why people are there. Like, it's not it's not because someone is absolutely.
Preach. We can't defend this. We can't defend this. Abba's right. We can't defend this. We can't.
considered obese, that are inherently not in a good shape. I understand
They-
that.
they are not.
Okay? I
Yeah.
understand that, and it's not because that happens.
Yeah, this is-
that it's not because that we have to, like you said,
This is
shame
crazy.
or this and that, and they have to be proud because while they're in a good shape, so let's not shame and let's not it's just I understand the body positivity movement in that sense, and then there's other senses and the other side, of course, that's just like everybody's beautiful and they're no, I cannot be. I'm not gonna talk for other people because I don't know their business. I can only talk for myself. So when the body positivity,
Yeah, this is crazy.
is beautiful and it's okay to be at any weight. That's where I got a problem. Just for me personally,
Yeah, this is crazy.
I cannot, and I ensure you cannot be over a certain weight, or else
Neither can I.
lying.
From what?
Not like myself personally. Like obviously myself personally, but at the same time, like even the people I engage with, I cannot, I cannot associate myself on a friendship level, on a, like being actual, like going out together, because the influence there is not a positive one in my mind. The influence there is not one that will reap better results for you in the future. At best, you become more complacent, and again, that just would deteriorate your health in the long run. So you want to, stay in peak condition the best you can.
High blood pressure, cholesterol, all of that. I understand where they're from. It's just there is there is, again, like any fucking movements, there is a lot of truth in what they say. And then
Yeah,
they hit the spot where
they hit the sweet spot in the don't judge, and then they lost everyone. They said when they said, "Look, it's healthy," and it's like, bro, now you're just lying. Now you're just lying.
Yeah, well, you're generalizing everything.
It's like kids when they say one thing and it's sweet, and they just keep ramping it up. Like, bro, come on, stop.
Absolutely obese or whatever. Maybe they ain't got no problem. I'm not the one to judge. I'm gonna talk about me. I can only talk about me.
Sure, some people do drugs and they're not unhealthy or they're not losing their lives. Absolutely. But one of the biggest indicators of shorter life expectancies is being obese. I'm not talking about like based off the BMI thing. I'm about like actually properly obese. Like, we need to stop this whole thing. Like, it's fine. You don't want to go out of your way to bully. That's fine. I'm not going on fucking girls' Instagram pages like you're so. I would never do that. But I don't understand this celebration of this thing. Like,
yeah, we shouldn't celebrate it. We shouldn't celebrate it.
Gluttony?
There is no achievement. Yeah, there is no achievement. There is no achievement. It is just complacency.
Like, you have a tremendously hard.
We have to get back to the old ways of respecting what is difficult. We have to respect what is difficult, because if we respect what is easy, the world would get messed up. And we don't see it now, but just you wait. Believe you me, if we start respecting things that come easy, it will become a problem. You have people out here saying, you get where we're going with this. Queens and kings and
gastric bypass, whatever the fuck it is, fine. But I'm not going to celebrate what is a sickness.
Yeah, but it's more. I think it's more complex than that. There's some people that have conditions. Like if you take an example, lipedema. Lipedema is a condition that much more people than we think have, and that condition is that your body amasses fat. It just amasses fat. It has nothing to do with you being glutton or whatnot. And it hurts. That's one of them. So you have it's not just you're fat and you equal this. That's the thing. It's
that's
the
true.
Thing you're trying to do. Okay,
that's true. That's why you don't judge.
Being fat does not equal. There's other things
but you can suggest helpful methods to alleviate that.
Other things that can be,
exercise always helps, regardless of what position you're in,
or that you are eating in an excess or whatever. You can have different conditions. I do understand where you're coming from.
I'm going to just disagree outright. And the reason why I'm going to disagree is there's a reason why in
outliers. Exceptions don't make the rule. Small population of people, not a small population, but like a small minority of people actually have those factors that will allow them to actually use that as a scapegoat. But the majority of people are just skating by.
In places like North America and England, there's far more obesity than anywhere else. You can talk about the exceptions. You can talk about outliers.
Facts.
But the vast majority of the reason why people are massively overweight and dying from comorbidities and different diseases like that is not because of these diseases. Now, if you want to talk about the exceptions.
No, but I agree with that.
Hold on. You could talk about the exceptions, right? You could be like, not all. Listen, nobody's talking about all when we're having this conversation. And if someone does have what you're describing, which is a sickness like lipidemia or whatever, I still don't want to celebrate that. You can go through whatever you're going through your body. Nobody needs to shame you, but we don't need to be out here talking about this weight is great. Oh, you're beautiful at your body. It's not. It's not.
It's it's the sugarcoating and trying to make everyone feel included. We shouldn't sugarcoat shit just for the sake of sugarcoating shit. Like, we have to have active measures of performance in the world. If you don't have those active measures of performance in the world, everything crumbles. Everything crumbles. You have to have set standards. See, if you look into houses where kids have structures and rules and things they have to follow, they tend to come out better than those households in which they have no rules or no structure. You understand what I'm saying?
There are risks. And so,
because they don't understand how the real world works, where there is structure, where the workplace there is structure, where you go to school there is structure, there is hierarchy, there is the teachers, the principal, you go to work, there is the manager, assistant manager, the employees, like there is structure everywhere you go. And we need that structure to understand and to move through the world properly. When everything is all anarchy, it just breeds more anarchy. Like, it's just problems.
When I see these kind of events that celebrate this stuff, and it's evidence of something sick, culturally speaking. In the black community, obesity is just a thing, much more prevalent
100%.
than in other communities. So sure enough, when the Rona hits, guess what happens?
Decimated.
I said decimated. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough out here. It's rough in the streets. Cold.
especially targeted due to high blood pressure, pre-existing conditions, etc., stuff like that.
But it's not because they're fat, it's because of
Because it's racist or whatever.
yeah.
Obesity is not something light. Like in terms of how it affects us as a general population, the outcomes are extremely negative for most people. You don't. I don't know about you. How many people you see make it to 70, 80, 90 who are obese? I can't think of one.
And those who make it are not anymore.
They don't get to be. They have to change their ways or they die.
Yeah. Monique was promoting big girls and everything. She had a whole bit about skinny bitches.
Right? No. Yeah.
She had a whole bit about skinny bitches.
Uh-huh.
When she first started, I remember that number. Talk about skinny bitches, and that was big, right? Black community again, talking about skinny bitches and stuff like that. Look at Monique now. You see Monique recently?
No.
She's working on it.
She want to live.
They understand. Yep.
I mean,
as
You go to the side. Yep. You go to the side. When your knees start hurting.
Everything hurts. No, but everything. That's how, if you have like diabetes and stuff like that. But it's just everything hurts as well. It's a lot of strain on your joints and shit.
Facts.
I remember when COVID hit, I got really, really sad. Partially because
you wonder why the human body is set up in such a way that things like fasting, like rejuvenate your cells. Like the reason these things exist, like the 72-hour fast recycles your cells and rejuvenates you. It's healthy for your cells to do that. The reason these measures are in place is because that's what we are evolved to do, to not just be gluttonous. Our bodies are not evolved for that. We're not evolved for that. We're not built for that. There's not enough time has not passed for us to get to the point where we are actually, our bodies can metabolize and work at very high functioning rates. That's not the way we operate. Like it's just weird to me that this is now becoming the norm. Like, this is cool. We're gonna end up like the people in WALL-E, bro. If any of you have seen WALL-E, the Disney movie WALL-E, Disney Pixar, I don't know if it's Pixar or just Disney Pixar or just Disney, whichever one. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. People are all in the chairs, all in space. Their bones shrunk because they're not using them. Everyone was, on the large side. It's craziness.
Affecting our community, that was like a thing that was common. And, you would see news reports of these big ladies talking about, "Ooh, I don't give a fuck. We here in Florida gonna party." And like 3 weeks later, you find out the same lady who was on that video died from right pre-existing condition, high blood pressure, whatever. And it's just sad because so many people from our communities get removed. We already deal with enough jailing issues, with enough crime issues, and all this stuff.
I like that. I like that.
But
that was a good pivot.
Acknowledge, right? There's also the societal aspect. You also live in a country where walking is much more difficult because getting anywhere is not encouraged. Like one thing I appreciated spending time like traveling is you get to see how other people live. Other people's lifestyles are just far more conducive.
And this is why it's so crazy that they have all these new measures, like even those little like cycle things where you stand on 2 feet and it moves you. I don't know what they call them anyway, but those things, like, it's just the laziness of it all is just crazy. Like people don't even want to walk anymore; they just want to stand on this machine and like move forward or whatever, like Segway type shit. Like, bro, that's crazy to me. That is crazy. Even with the scooters now, electric scooters, people just scooting everywhere. Like, come on, yeah, sure, but if you're gonna scoot across the block just to get to the gym, bro, that's craziness. That's crazy.
To healthier living. Of course,
take a
it's
jog.
a matter of personal choices. But anybody who's addicted, anybody who's got like serious impulse problems will tell you accessibility generally is one of the biggest issues with relapsing or making bad choices. Meaning, like, if you are prone to taking bad substances, okay? Not keeping them anywhere near you will help you to stay away from them, generally speaking. If you just leave that stuff near somebody who's like really severely addicted to sugars or whatever, it's not gonna be good. So when you live in these neighborhoods where there's like shitty access to foods, like, yeah, it does raise the likelihood for bad outcomes. I absolutely agree with the personal choices mattering in this situation. But I also think that society can't engineer itself to give people optimal choices that are healthy as well. Our societies are not geared towards that. And they're not geared towards walking to work. They're not geared towards taking public transportation.
No, they are not.
A lot of places, public transportation is unusable.
Especially in the U.S.
Listen, that is true for a lot of places.
Walking. Can you walk in L.A.?
Listen, I live there. You can't walk there. You can't walk there.
But you can't walk in Florida either.
Because here's the thing. You take 2 hours to get to work and back. You're dying on public transport. That's also unhealthy for you. So me spending time in Europe, me spending time in different places, I got to see how effective these systems
You can't
work.
walk in New York.
It's like, oh my God, what a difference it makes. You know what I mean? You're burning a bunch of calories just walking places, walking up hills. You see old ladies over there in like Portugal, right? Just walking up big ass steep hills because they've been doing it their whole lives. Certain cultural and societal factors encourage this kind of healthier living, right? There's not a fast food joint at every corner. Guess what? Now they got bakeries. They got little mom and pop shops. You wish that in a lot of poor areas where obesity is far more prevalent, that these things were accessible. So it's not like I'm lacking in empathy.
At TikTok, we're known for it.
And we don't care. We don't absolutely care.
Unable to understand how it's much more easy in these kind of environments to become like that. I mean, one of the saddest things, I'm not gonna lie to you, was watching, I think, the Life Channel and seeing these hugely fat, obese parents fattening their kids. So I'm talking about these kids already got high blood pressure by the time they're in their teens.
Yeah,
How
that's
do you
crazy.
even fix
That's
that?
crazy.
Your parents fucked you over. Yeah. Your parents birthed you and said, bitch, we're gonna take you back to the grave before we even get there. We're going to give you bone problems, joint problems, by the time you haven't even hit 20. So I don't lack in understanding, like, sometimes the stuff around you really makes it harder.
Yeah.
Okay? And it's not easy. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is we don't have to exacerbate the issue by telling people, oh, my God, this is so beautiful. We don't have to do that. We can say it's okay to love yourself. It's okay to say you want better for yourself and that you're okay with where you are, but you're going to get better because it takes a long time. It's a long journey for people, okay? Weight loss doesn't have to be a 3-month thing. It could be 3, 4, 5 years. But I dislike this kind of like, as you are, you're really good. It's like, no. That's not the case.
When you say that the Western world is there's more fat people and everything and stuff, I get that. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm not disputing that at all. I understand what you're saying, so we actually agree on that. I'm just saying, yeah, there's exceptions. Now, that being said, when people say you're at risk, you have to understand as well that I'm just really understanding both sides. I think that when people say you're at risk of if you're in that predicament, it just doesn't automatically mean that you're gonna have that, but you are.
Yes, but you should take it as a serious precaution that it is a likely possibility, depending on the percentage likelihood of you being in that population and that population being affected by a certain thing. You have to take these things into consideration. If it's 1 in 3, then come on, you're playing games here. If it's 1 in 4, you're still playing games. If it's 1 in 6, oh, it's rough. It could be you, but most likely will not. And you get the point.
Are in a high risk of having XYZ, high blood pressure, whatever, name it. You're at risk. It's a risk. It doesn't matter. That doesn't mean that you automatically have it.
No, but it's facts. It's the progression because eventually your arteries are gonna clog, causing the pressure to rise. It's just gonna happen.
You are. So that I think that whenever people hear the at risk, the bypass the at risk and the automatically think, yeah, you just told me that I absolute. They speak in absolute. So yeah, no, I do agree with you.
Maybe this is more so just something I notice when these conversations unfold.
What happens?
I notice that whenever the points of like obesity super rampant, the first thing they'll reply you'll hear is like, all right, well, just because people on the BMI scale overrepresent doesn't mean they're sure. Oh, well, you know what? Some people have conditions and need gastric bypass. Sure. It feels like everything is always just deviating from the main point, which is like, yo, we're just too fucking unhealthy. You want to talk about all these outliers and health? That's fine. I just noticed like this is brought up and it's immediately like, well, some people are sick because, listen, most people are just sick because they're fat and they make bad choices. That's the truth. Either they inherited those bad choices from their parents, maybe it's a mixture of genetics as well, but the truth is, most people are just fat. Let's just focus on that. The people who have a different issue, let them go to a different conversation. But most people are just fat because bad choices. Once we can get past that and just move past that, not to be like mad at folks, but just to say like, yo, this is bad not only for the individuals involved, but for society as a whole. How do we make things better? Now, folks are going to say, well, the antidote is body positivity. I don't know if that's true. Let's talk about solutions. I do not believe that when I see body positivity in the way that it's exemplified in these kinds of fashion shows, I think is encouraging people to get healthy. However, I will say that when folks go out of their way to shame people and yell at them, that's not helping either.
Facts.
Okay? I don't think you gotta go to somebody's obese and yell at them or shame them. Now, some folks are gonna reply and say, "Oh, well, actually, I was shamed and it helped me get." Maybe it worked for you. Maybe you're.
But that's not necessarily.
That's not most people. Okay,
Yeah.
most people. So you give them negative stimuli. Sometimes they just retreat from it. They don't all need the same kind of treatment.
Yeah.
And so if we're just thinking about what's best, as a
Understand
species,
your audience.
Yeah.
I would say that you are respectful people, but you also don't go around encouraging it or going yas when they say they're fat and they've been eating Twinkies all day or whatever. Just because it doesn't mean at risk should scare you. It should frighten you. I don't know what else to tell you. Walking into putting your head in a microwave, not good for you. Oh, actually, it only puts you at risk for. Yeah, okay, sure. It's not good for you. Get that through your head. It puts you at risk for a lot of issues if you just stick your head in the microwave and turn that bitch on for 3 hours.
That was a hard pill to swallow.
You die. You will die.
At some point when I was young.
You will die.
You're like, oh shit, I'm actually not good. And it's really like a hit. It's really a hit in the face when
Doctor?
the numbers are there and they show you that shit.
You're going to die if you keep
Like-
doing like this.
Keep doing you, boo boo. But if you do, you're gonna be a whole rapper at 50.
It's a wrap.
And it is what it is. It really hurts. And sometimes you think people are doing that because, yo, they're doing that to hurt me or they're saying some mean things or whatever. No, sometimes it's actually the opposite. You say something because you are concerned and you want the best for friends. You want the best for the people around you. You want the best. You want the best for your homies and shit. And people really take it personal. The thing in life, whenever you have a disagreement with someone, don't assume, and that's what we often do. Don't assume that the person is mean. Assume that they either don't know or they want your good. After that, assume that they want to get you out. But it's often not the case. The person doesn't want to they don't want necessarily to take you out or diss you or whatnot. It just hurts. And the truth hurts sometimes.
The truth hurts, and it should be accepted. Accepted! Accept the truth! Anyway, guys, that was ABBA versus Preach, just talking about this very delicate topic that is body positivity in our society. But yeah, guys, just take care of your health. Make sure you exercise moderately. Even 3 times a week is just what you need. Just that's the bare minimum. Like, you can do that 30, 40 minutes to an hour. You got it. What's the harm? Even if you take a walk for like an hour or 2 on one of the days, you're chilling, take a bike ride, walk to work, walk to the store. There's so many changes you can make in your day-to-day life just to improve your health that much more. And why not take those steps, take those changes, because you will benefit in the long run. When you have longevity, when you feel the air in your lungs and you can breathe again, that means something. When you can run and play with your family, your friends, your kids, that means something. So guys, take care of yourself. Your body is a temple, so treat it as such and do not desecrate it. Guys, as I always say, spread love, not WarCraft. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.